Shanti, good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for this BK Chit Chat. And this month, the month of angels, is the month of fast self-progress. And because Daddy Janki used to say that you can make 12 months progress in this 1 month of January, we always feel we should make some extra efforts. Make the most of this opportunity, accumulate as much as we can. So for the last few weeks, we've been having these chit-chats, reflecting upon some of Brahma Baba's qualities, getting our mind prepared for 18th January, reflecting on ourselves. You'll remember that Shiv Baba spoke several Murlis in recent months, where he told us that he wants us to serve others through virtues. He said, give the donation of virtues. Not everyone wants the donation of knowledge, but everyone wants the donation of virtues. So as we listen to the qualities of Brahma Baba, it inspires us, it makes us introspective, and it also encourages us to then use those virtues, because they brought success for Brahma Baba. They will bring success for us as well. So I'll hand over to Ranjan now to take you through some of the points.
Om Shanti to everyone. So this is part 4, which we read last week because of that Mulya about soul consciousness, summarizing. So we thought we'll read all, there are 13 specialities, so we read all that, and so we thought it's about soul consciousness. So it says, remain beyond the consciousness of the body and bodily relations and become free from attachment. So this is the last chapter as well, Nasto Moha Smriti Labdha. And Sai Baba says that become a point and wrap up the expansion, because you came just a point, and now when we return home, that should be our consciousness and our stage. So number 1, from the day that Shiv Baba made the body of Brahma his instrument, Baba became beyond and destroyed attachment to his body from that day onwards. So now we just check subtly, and at this moment Baba is talking to us, checking as well, and practicing with Baba and becoming, implementing right now at the same time. Become the Swarup, become the form. So from the day that Shiv Baba made the body of Brahma, Baba, his instrument, Baba became beyond and destroyed attachment to his body from that day onwards. Baba says, child, this body is not mine. I have given it to Baba on loan. Baba himself will look after it. This is the horse of Hussein. These relations are not mine either. So, like Hussein will explain.
Comes up in the Murli, where I believe it's the Shia faith of Islam. They believe in this Prophet Hussein, and the story is that there was a battle, and unfortunately Hussein did not survive, but the horse of Hussein returned back to the camp, and this is how they knew that Hussein was no more. So every year on that festival, they have a ceremony, festivities, and the horse is celebrated within that festival. So Baba is saying that the body of Brahma Baba himself is saying that there's all these symbols of gods and goddesses riding a certain animal or having some sort of vehicle. And of course the body is the vehicle. So the body of Shiv Baba is Brahma Baba's body, and this is one of the symbols.
Baba says, child, this body is not mine. I have given it to Baba, means Brahma Baba has given it to Shiv Baba on loan. Baba himself will look after it. This is the horse of Hussein. These relations are not mine either. I myself am his child. All of them belong to Shiv Baba. So Brahma Baba himself is the first child, Adam, eldest son, child. And so Baba is talking to himself that all Dada Lekhaj had 5 children and grandchildren. So he's saying everyone is his, and including Brahmins, they all are Shiv Baba's responsibility. They are his children. So with this awareness, Baba became double light. From Baba, you would have the experience that whilst walking and moving, he was amidst a body of light. In the same way, we children have to follow the Father and remain beyond the body and bodily relations and destroy our attachment to them. So Brahma Baba explained this beautifully simply. So asking us to follow him. Leave it, because ours is family part, household part. Baba is not saying abandon your responsibilities or anything, but practice. Because we have taken 63 births and that's why we have to serve all our relations that were there, or so many parents, brothers. We have to serve them as well, wherever they are in the world. And also the entire world and the elements, animals, they all are included in the world. Number 2, reside in your body. The way in which Baba adopts this old body, take the support of it in order to perform actions, and then stabilize yourself in your angelic form and be stable in your incorporeal stage. So Karma Yoga, today's slogan was about Karma Yoga, balance of yoga and karma. Reside in your body, the way in which Baba adopts this old body, take the support of it in order to perform actions, and then stabilize yourself in your angelic form and be stable in your incorporeal stage. So karma and yoga balance. When there is the high stage of being detached, come down to perform actions. This is known as being a guest and very great. So Baba is rhyming it in Hindi. Guest is Mehman, and very great means Mahan. This is the first step to renunciation. Number 3, consider your old body to be something that has given to you by Bap Dada to look after in trust. So, a trustee, we are a trustee, use it for service. This body is not mine, it is given to me in trust for the sake of service. Act as though you are a guest in your body. Bap Dada has given this body to you for a task, for a little while, for a short period. Think in this way and become detached from the consciousness of the body. Then you will become like the Father, beyond and free from attachment. So this is the last chapter of Gita, 18th chapter. This is the stage for that, returning home. Number 4, just as in Brahma Baba's thoughts and vision, there was always the awareness that this is Baba's chariot. In the same way, the children have also made a promise. This mind, body, and wealth are yours, not mine. Tan, man, dhan. Tan is body. So Baba says, we also have promised, like Brahma Baba was always aware that this body is Shiv Baba's chariot and Shiv Baba is the charioteer, helping with Brahma Baba side by side. So in the same way, we have to practice being Baba's, being the chariot and having Karan Karavan, how Shiv Baba Bap Dada charioteer. So that is our Sati helping us. This mind, body and wealth are yours, not mine. The consciousness of mine makes you body conscious. But when you say yours, tera, you are able to go beyond. By remaining beyond, there will automatically be Baba's remembrance. Therefore, Baba says, share the consciousness of the vessel made of clay. So this body is made of 5 elements, the clay, miti, and adopt an angelic form, become double light. Number 5, whilst living amongst the Lokic relatives, there should be the thought that you have a Lokic relationship with them. The Lokic relationship is for the sake of it. But in your consciousness, there must be the Alokic and Parlokic relations. So, just from outside have that relationship like with your family, brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. But, inside, incognito, you have Alokic, Brahma Babas, with Brahma Baba, and then Shiv Baba, incorporeal relationship. So Parlokic is beyond this world, is Paramdam, Parlokic, incorporeal world. Baba says, whilst living amongst the Lokic relatives, there should be the thought that you have a Lokic relationship with them. The Lokic relationship is for the sake of it. But in your consciousness, there must be the Alokic and Parlokic relationship. Always remain seated on the seat of a lotus flower. That's the symbol of family path, lotus, whilst living in the mud and remains detached. The dirt or the water of vices should not touch you. This is not my relationship of the body, but it is a relationship of service. We are not living in the household for a relationship, but for the sake of service. With this consciousness, become free from attachment and go beyond. Number 6, one Father and no one else. Become free from attachment and remain beyond with this consciousness. Baba is your world. People and objects are the two main things in the world. Since Baba is your world, then all relationships are with Baba and not all attainments are from Baba. Sorry. Since Baba is your world, then all relationships are with Baba and all attainments are from Baba. So no expectations from relatives. Baba is my world. And so Baba above said, what we need is relationships and material and all the facilities. But even to remain beyond the facilities and the relationships, Baba said that we must have, since Baba is your... Since Baba is your world, then all relationships are with Baba and all attainments are from Baba. When you have found everything, the intellect cannot be pulled to anything else. So everything from Baba. That's what it means. Whilst living in the household, always remain isolated from bodily relationships. I am the husband and this is my wife. There should not be that consciousness even in dreams. All souls are brothers, not men and women. This relationship is only for the sake of service. Otherwise, you are combined with Baba. Whilst playing the part of serving the family, remain a trustee and you will be able to go beyond. Number 8, when you remove clothes from your body, you remove them very easily. In the same way, let there be the practice of removing the clothes of this body and of renouncing the old sanskars very easily. If these clothings cling to one of other old sanskars, that is, if they are tight, then it will be difficult to remove them. Therefore, check if you have become detached and gone beyond all the old sanskars. Number 9, whilst living with the relations of the body, let there be the awareness of the alokik whilst being with the lokik. Always think that these are all the children of Brahma Baba and our forthcoming generations. Because Brahma Baba is the creator, the Bhagats, Jnani and Agyani are all part of his progeny. So the entire world belongs to Bapdada. And they all are BKs. In some movies, Baba says, whether they believe it or not, they all are BKs, Brahma Kumari. So we can explain further after. But because Brahma Baba is the creator, the Bhagats means devotees, Jnani and Agyani are all part of his progeny. Transform each relationship from lokik to alokik and you will become free from attachment and go beyond. Number 10, first of all, do not become detached from all bodily relations, but from body consciousness. So means you just pay attention to removing body consciousness, not be aloof, like, with the relationships of the body. And then you will be loved by everyone. You will also be loved by the world when you perform actions by first stabilizing yourself in the form of the soul, separate from the body. Those who first become detached from the body, that is, those who remain beyond, will be loved by the self, by God, and also by everyone else. Number 11, whilst seeing the bodily relationships, naturally have the awareness of only the soul in the intellect. In terms of the soul, let there be the relationship of brothers, and in terms of being Brahmins of the Brahmin clan, let there be the pure relationship of brother and sister in your awareness. So, in the Lokik who are not in Gyan, Baba have said their soul conscious as brothers, but with Brahmin family, with the Brahmins, there are brothers and sisters. So, Baba is saying that have this pure relationship of brother and sister in your awareness. For this, be seated on the lotus seat, means purity, pure vision, pure intellect. Only when Brahma Baba was seated on the lotus seat was he loved by the father and by the Brahmin family. So follow the father. And if you look at the photos of all the idols, deities, they all are seated on lotus flowers, So that is our seat, and that is the symbol of now, our bhakti. Number 12, just as Brahma Baba remained beyond and became a detached observer and brought about perfection in the physical form, the perfect form and the sakar form were not visible as separate. So too, follow the Father. First of all, go beyond the body, that is, become detached from it. And then go beyond the relationship of the body with your sanskars and your intellect. So go beyond with your sanskars and your intellect. I think these are my sanskars. Baba says, go beyond even this consciousness of mine. Whenever you remember I, remember Bap Dada. And whenever you remember mine, remember Srimad. So Baba is teaching us the method. And number 13, just as when you enter a physical place, in the same way enter this body and then perform actions. Enter it when you wish and become detached from it when you wish. Increase the experience of adopting this body in 1 second and becoming detached from it in 1 second and becoming soul conscious. The body should not tie you in its bondage. The practice of letting go of the consciousness of the body that is becoming detached will make you similar to the Father. So, Om Shanti.
Good.
Just say it.
These points fit well with today's morning. Baba was saying to us today that you don't need to externally show that you're a BK in every situation, with everyone all the time. It's about your internal stage of spirituality. And these points are around the nature we have of attachment. To be human means to be attached. It's something we do without even thinking. We just get attached to people, attached to things, attached to ideas, attached to achievements, attached to roles. And when I think about Brahma Baba, he is very impressive, and you can see why Shri Baba makes him into the first Narayan. Because you look at his life story, and he is self-made. His family was pretty middle class, like just average for that time. And he had the desire to develop a business. He began developing that business from about the age of 18. And he worked. He got married actually at 19 years old, but it was an arranged marriage. And his wife, Sister Jashoda, she was only 6 years old at that time. And that suited him because he was able to then just focus on his business while she still had to grow up anyway. So they didn't actually live as husband and wife until she was much older. And so he had a number of years to develop his business. And he learnt his trade in Mumbai. And then he built up that he was importing and exporting the various materials for jewelry and then processing it and creating items. And he ended up with shops in Calcutta, Mumbai and Karachi, which are the main ports at that time. And he built all of that up. He accumulated wealth. He then did have a family. He had 5 children, in fact. And he was the youngest of the brothers, 3 brothers, but he was the leader of the extended family as well. So he expanded that one as well. And think about it, and he spent his life expanding that family, expanding that type of business, and that's what we call success, isn't it? And then he also was good with networking in high society. We hear that in the Morley, don't we? That he was connected with high society of the British Raj in India, connected with the Indian kings and queens and the royal families. Defined on a human level as success. He achieved it. And he was self-made as well. It wasn't like he was born into these things. So if you think the latitude for attachment for him is even greater, Because why would you not be attached? You have achieved all these things, created all these things. You've developed your reputation. You've developed your business. You've developed your family. And you can be proud of so much. And yet, Shiv Baba comes and says, let go of all of these attachments. Consider yourself to be a soul. Remember me alone. And use everything in a worthwhile way to create this task of changing the Iron Age into the Golden Age. And let go of all of his attachments. It's remarkable, isn't it? You don't have anything. You're a poor person. You're unsuccessful. You don't have a reputation. Or you're also a single person. And then you say, okay, I'm letting go of my attachment. But you didn't have anything anyway. So that's not such a big thing. But for Brahma Baba, he did it. And he didn't take time either. Even someone who is poor and lives in a hut, they can have so much attachment to their hut. And if you go to tribal places and you ask them to let go of their beliefs, because that's another one with Brahma Baba. We know that Brahma Baba was very absorbed in his bhakti. And I can't think of that many, like Brahma Baba was in his 50s, 60s when Shiv Baba came. And for someone of that age who is very much into something, to let go of those beliefs can be very difficult. Like if someone has been a devotee for many decades, to then just let go of all those beliefs, that's not easy. And most people would not do it. They would just hang on to their culture. They will say that we shouldn't change our religion and our culture, and they will stick with them. But what Shiv Baba was teaching is so different to normal Hindu way of doing things. And Brahma Baba read so many scriptures and listened to so many gurus' lectures. He knew so many things. He didn't do a PhD in theology, but we should treat him like a PhD in Hinduism. He knew a lot. But didn't keep his attachment to his beliefs either. So hearing these points, it really brought that out for me, that Brahma Baba was able to transition from the human to the angel because of this speciality of detachment, of letting go of attachments. And those daddies of the beginning, the original daddies, they share how they began to have visions of Brahma Baba as Krishna, and people over the years began to experience the angel of Brahma. This is what that is saying. The more that you let go of your attachments, the more you identify with that spirituality, the more it will spread that way. Yesterday, Sister Jayanti gave us that practice of the angel, the angelic form, and it was mentioned in the points. This is something that Brahma Baba practiced over a long period of time. And you'll see that there are 4 main words which are important for our consciousness that came up in these points as well. These 4 words help us to let go of these attachments. The first one is to remember that we are a traveler, we are a traveling actor. The word in Hindi is musafir. Remember that you are a traveler. You are passing through. The human mind deceives us to think that we are here permanently. We like to think we are always this person. These are always my relations. This is always my place. You are a traveler. You are always moving. It is an illusion to think that you are static. Because you are a traveler, the second consciousness, it means that you are a guest. And the word for guest in Hindi is mehman. And what Baba explains is if you consider yourself to be a mehman, a guest, you will become mahan. You will become great. Because you are a guest, that means you are a trustee. So everything that you own, everything that you have control over, it cannot go with you. When it's time for you to fly, when your next body is prepared, you just have to go. You will not take anything with you. So everything you have, and also all the people in your life, you are a trustee for them. And the job of a trustee is to preserve, maintain, and also progress, increase something. So you are playing a role in the drama as a trustee. And the fourth one is you are instrument. Everything is already predestined in the drama. But the drama makes us instruments to achieve something. Maybe you will be the instrument to achieve one thing, I will be the instrument to achieve another thing. And each day, the drama makes us an instrument to achieve something. Confluence age, the drama in particular, helps us with opportunities to create our fortune, to accumulate future births we have to take. But that service or that task, that was already fixed in the drama. We were just made an instrument to create our fortune. It would have happened anyway. So, if we remember these four things, first one, I am a traveler. I am passing through. Secondly, because I'm a traveler, I am a guest. Thirdly, because I'm a guest, it means I'm a trustee. And because I'm a trustee, it means that I am just an instrument for the drama. Consciousness are the key for us to become free from attachment, while also fulfilling our responsibilities. Because that's the challenge, isn't it? Baba doesn't allow us to become sannyasis and leave everything. He wants us to do everything and also do it while being free from attachment. So enjoy these different consciousnesses, give them a try, and see the difference it brings in your feeling. I wonder if anyone of you that are here with us live would like to ask anything or say anything.
Om Shanti, good evening.
Hello, Helder. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope you're well.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Um, Thanks for let us share and ask questions. Sometimes I've been wondering. You just said that yes, Brahma Baba for the role he played, he was the first one trying all of these. But sometimes I wonder whether it was more difficult for Brahma Baba or for us. And the reason why sometimes I wonder is because Brahma Baba had Shiv Baba with him. So I think amongst all of us, he was the only one who was sure that I'm following the right path because he had Shiv Baba with him. So isn't it the fact that he had Shiv Baba with him made it much easier for him to let go of everything because he knew the destiny I'm going to is much higher than all these material things that I have. So sometimes I wonder this and I would like to hear your thoughts about this thinking. Thank you.
Brother Helder. It is an interesting thing to think about, and I think you'll have a nice spirit to spirit, heart to heart conversation with Brahma Baba this month. Because when Brahma Baba was in the corporeal form, the BKs also used to say this to him as well. And it comes in one or two moralities. So I think you can have a nice argument with Brahma Baba, a friendly argument. And you can claim that actually it's harder for you, and you should tell Shiv Baba to give you extra marks compared to Brahma Baba, for sure. I think it can definitely be said both ways, because on one side you're right that Shiv Baba would have definitely helped Brahma Baba, but I think the way in which it is just different. So for most of us, we come through the understanding of knowledge. So Baba uses this phrase with us, a faithful intellect. But Brahma Baba changed before the Morley. So this is different. The Morley was spoken after Brahma Baba surrendered. So in one side you are right that you could say that it's more tangible for him because Shiv Baba was there. But on the other side, actually Brahma Baba didn't have all the knowledge we have. And even just the 7 days, originally, the foundation course is something that was developed quite gradually. And Brahma Baba didn't have that before. Just to give you an example, it took some time for Brahma Baba to develop that knowledge. I was hearing a while back one of the original Devis, Devi Chandarani, share her experience. She came with her parents, her whole family came right at the start, so around about October 1936. And she was approximately 13 years old at the time, and she said she still remembers that first morally that she heard. I don't think they called it morally at that time. It was more like a sermon. And she said that they went, and after they went towards Baba, and he had drawn a picture of the three worlds. And she remembers vividly that the three worlds that he drew at that time, heaven above, this world, hell below. Like, not the three worlds we know now. So he developed this faith, not faith through the intellect like we are, through thinking about knowledge, developing our faith that way. He has been able to do it without even understanding some fundamental basic concepts that we understood. And I think the introduction even of Shiv Baba took until about 1942. So, it was not even that clear who was Shiv Baba. So what I suspect for him, the first challenge would have been is this just his own imagination? So he's had faith in Shiv Baba, not knowing Shiv Baba, but maybe the doubt might have been in himself. So one of the ways in which he seems to have done the checking was a number of the daddies seemed to be transmissive. And so he would be verifying things with them. Let's say Daddy Gozan, for example. You might say to Daddy Gozan, go and check with Shiv Baba. What shall we do? What is this? And even the development of the pictures, we hear Murlis on this. It was like a process of verifying with Shiv Baba, churning, developing something, checking again. So I think there was this sort of maybe question that if the thought is coming from inside your own head, and the voice that is speaking the knowledge is actually your voice, is this you? Or is this really some higher power speaking through you? So I think that would have been one of the big challenges. As far as I know, it was quite similar for the religious founders as well. Now we know from Baba the details of how two soul, the father enters that. We know that now. But I think, it was not so clear. And you hear, I think even now the Eastern Church, they do talk about the divine Christ and the human Christ. In Islam, they talk about how the Quran was revealed by the angel and Prophet Muhammad is the human. So they will distinguish in this way. But I think it was this question about, many people would question the sanity of these religious fathers at that time. And I think people thought that about Brahma Baba because it was like he was this business person, and then now he is making all these claims. And so I think these were the challenges at that for them. And it seems like that generation, again, I think maybe it's less about Shiv Baba and more that they had a vision. Now, I'm not someone who has had these spiritual visions, so I cannot speak from experience. I'll ask Ranjan Ben to share. She's had one or two visions, her son, but not me. But I'm more, I suppose, intellectual type. But to convince people through dialogue is quite difficult. For someone to agree to let go of their understanding and accept that's actually quite difficult. But if you've had a vision, that seems to be something which is compelling to a person. So I think you could be right in that sense, that because he had this living, breathing vision, it was so compelling for him that he had faith in that rather than really understanding who is Shiv Baba. And then for the daddies as well, it seems to have been that they had a dream. Sri Krishna telling them, go and listen to this person, go and then they didn't need anyone else to tell them. They had such a compelling vision. So maybe it was that was the help. But you can see why Shiv Baba would do that, because there was no Murli at that time. So that was a good way to do it then. Now he does it differently because of the infrastructure. The other thing, though, that we have a big advantage now is examples, for sure. That is a big advantage, for sure. He didn't have anyone as an example. So in that sense, he's definitely ahead of us, to be able to know what to do without an example. That is some internal clarity that he had, I think. January is also, yeah, was it 18th January 1969? Even before you were BK, Ranjan Ben had an experience of Brahma Baba. So she took knowledge 13 years later. But this was when, before she had knowledge, and she was in London, she actually had a visionary experience as Brahma Baba was leaving the corporeal form, in that she didn't know anything about Brahma Kumaris at that time. But at that time he was flying up, she had a vision in London. Who did that to
Well, Baba says in the Murli that we, most of us are,
thought-born person.
And also Avyakt, although we didn't meet personally, like Sakar Baba, like Dadism did, but we are the Avyakti,
the
angelic progeny of Baba. But that day I was just walking in the park and just feeling a bit uncomfortable down, and just walking, and suddenly I just had this, as if like now we know he is an angel and white. There are quite a lot of sisters and brothers said this man in white, but and then when their part was to open
So describe a bit more. What did it look like?
For me, it was just a very beautiful divine being, just comforting me. And it is not very long, it's just, but you feel good. You feel good and you have this, feeling that, oh yeah, there's someone looking after me. But my part didn't open until, well, I used to do the devotion, so, and we, of course, we were vegetarians, and so that helped me as well. But my part didn't open until 1982. So, but from time to time.
But then, in 1982, you then got the knowledge introduction of Brahma Baba.
Yeah.
So at that point, what happened? You remembered back to that vision? How did it happen?
Yeah, and also, just then when I went to the library in after a few years, and then I saw this magazine, and then when I saw the Baba's pictures, and so some, well, of course, by then, Baba Bhavan, and that was, the Brother Jagdish, and the delegation came, from Bharat. And I didn't know anything about Brahma Kumaris, but already had started. And I wasn't living very far from Baba Bhavan, the center in Wilston. But then I felt good seeing that picture, and I wondered. But still, I didn't get, my part didn't open until after a few years. But when, during Shailen, when birth, before that, I just had a vision that Baba was pouring Amrit, when we have that nectar on Thursdays. So that vision I had. And, so every Thursday I used to go and collect from Sudesh Ben, and she used to give me a lot of nectar for Shailen. So that was very comforting as well, But then it's like, I 82, but from time to time, I do feel Baba is there with me, or so I do feel Brahma Baba's presence around me quite a lot. And it's not my imagination, I have no doubt at all. Because it's really beautiful feeling that Baba is there. It's not a scary thing, because in white, a lot of things, like ghost or something, everything, a lot of things are in white. But this is very divine and very comforting and reassuring, safe. Yeah, and but there's quite a lot. But like Baba says, don't even go. Baba is saying that in the Bhog message also recently, because a lot of those who are going and there's not much time and they go to Madhuban now and they say, oh, we wish we had met Sakar Baba. So today in Thursday's Bhog message also, Baba's message was, Baba is there, but children should keep their mind very clean and their stage, and Baba will give them experience. That was today's Bhog message. So, did they get it? Somebody there? Is it in South Africa? So, have they got anybody who could read in Hindi and translate that message?
We can think about that. But yes, it's this point, isn't it, of that we have to, it was something that Jayanti Didi was saying yesterday, that we've got to practice the angelic meeting with Baba. But I think it's a nice question, brother. You sort of extracted some experiences there from the sister. But also, I think it is interesting to think and connect back to those original days of the Yagya and how they came and they developed their faith and they developed that understanding. And I just think that, like in one family where you could have 5 children, but each child is born at their own auspicious moment. And it's an auspicious time, it's not really any comparison. But it's this understanding that every Brahmin has to be at their special moment, in their special way, because no one is the same as anyone else. And you wouldn't have in a family everyone born together, that wouldn't happen. So I think it's this specialness of really how we are born. And I just think it's interesting, according to the person, how Baba does it. Did you want to come back and say anything, Brahma?
No, I think you made it clear that it's not straightforward, that it was easier for Brahma Baba, but I take the challenge and I'm going to argue with him. As I think he might have had doubts. What is this that is happening with me? Which voice is this? And I think I agree with you. He might have been confused about what is this that is happening to me. So I agree. It's a perspective. I'm going to argue with him that it was easier for him. And if he gives me some answers, I'll share. So I would like to ask Rajam then, when you had this vision while walking in the park, were you under some stress? Were you asking for visions? Were you asking for comfort? What was your state of mind at that time? Does it that just happen from nothing, or it was probably a response for something? Because Baba today, I think he said in the Murli that this time that he came, it was an answer for our calls for him to come as devotees. So he's giving us the fruit of our devotion. So I would like to understand, in a sense, of whether this vision was an answer for a specific ask or, I don't know, trouble that you had.
I had no. Just sometimes, some days you have this karmic, whatever it was that makes you feel, a bit sad or, just this. And I no. I had no. All I do was I was as a devotee. I sometimes chant the God's name, but. I had no expectation, nothing like that. It's just like Baba says, that Baba, our parts open when we are, our part is opening when we are ready for that. But it's predestined and at the right time. But so my path, as I said, I didn't come into the path until aware of Baba or this. But Baba often says that Baba was giving, and even you, Baba had all of us up.
But the question that the brother wants to pin down on is why at that moment? Why not before? Why not after?
Yeah.
Was there something where you were particularly asking and needing some support or something?
Yeah, oh yeah, yes. I mean, things happen and then you just sometimes think too much and then you get a bit confused or sad. And so, yes, I did. But, and then I have my faith in God and, I used to worship Jagdamba, and now I know who Mama is, Jagdamba, but Jagdamba and Krishna and Ram and all that. And I do remember with true heart. And so maybe that's why Baba, that they thought that, well, this child is really, really needing help. And just suddenly, but so it's not, Baba is there, but our mind and, when it's not clear, but that day probably I was just in great need and Baba just needed to comfort me.
You've used the word comfort a few times, and I think it's this support, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because just on a practical level, Renjin Ben was born in East Africa, in Tanzania, and she moved to the UK in 1963, the only member of her family. So you would have been alone at that time.
Yeah.
So she's a young lady alone. She came at an 18-year-old, so 1969. She was only 24 years old. She's on her own in London without that family support. The parents are not there. The others are not there. So perhaps Brahma Baba came to just reassure her at that time. And then obviously prepare her as well for them becoming a beacon.
Mm.
But it sounds like she had to wait for me to arrive and then...
Yeah, and also our part, Baba can't interfere with anyone's part. And Brahma Baba didn't look how, you always need someone, first person to research. He did, if you read, he did a lot of research. Lot of people thought he had gone, his mind wasn't there, he has gone mad, and all sorts of things. But Brahma Baba said, no, there is something, someone, he is asking me to take on this responsibility and, to understand. And then he had a vision of heaven. First he had a vision of destruction, a great destruction. Heaven. He had a vision of that you have to establish the heaven.
Vishnu.
And it was Vishnu Chaturbhuj, four-armed Vishnu. So now we know four-armed means Lakshmi and Narayan, two of it. And it was a family path. And he said, no, there is someone is asking me to do, but how am I going to do that? When you read his biography, and he didn't have that easy, but he really was convinced that this is some unique energy that is asking me. But he wasn't clear who he is. He was really searching, like when you do your research, PhD, whatever, then you keep on thinking and searching. And he went to his friend's house to have some away from the city, away from the business, to relax and to have this privacy. And he used to sit under a tree and contemplate and wanting to know. So he went to Banaras, or what we call Varanasi, and then he went to Kashmir, where he had friends, and he started drawing pictures, and he said, I don't know why I'm doing this, somebody is guiding me. But he had no clue. So we needed somebody, like Baba said, the entire world, all the children, just now when we read that point, they all are his progeny. So Baba had this huge task, and so he didn't have it easy at all. But it was Baba's energy, but now also we like Baba says, Shiva, you just like you say, you have a chit chat with Baba. You do. Baba says, I listen to children's. I will read this, and you can translate this message there or whatever. This today's two messages are quite good. Like and it was like Chentiben, and yesterday, about Amrit Vela. Did you attend that meeting? Chentiben also, no. But Chentiben has nice commentary in there. But that's what I said to Shailen yesterday. Chentiben's commentary, Chentiben's class was similar as if like today's Pope messages. So she even beforehand prepared us. And so, and you do get in touch with Shailen Bhai and ask whatever you wish to.
Did you want to say anything else, Brad?
No, thank you very much for allowing me to share and to ask questions. That's all.
Yes, great to see you.
But don't forget to be soul conscious and also with title that Baba, and talk to Baba nicely. So
Sure.
he will answer you. He will look after you.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, really interesting discussion there. And I think this month is just that month, isn't it, when we are all really thinking a lot more about Brahma Baba, a lot more about the angels, a lot more about the yagya, like that. So it emerges these things within us. So these are nice things to reflect upon. So I enjoyed that conversation. Thank you very much. Let's finish this session today with a few minutes of Baba's Remembrance.